Okay, oops, let me change the resolution for you. No, where is this one? So, there we go. Last time we added a generator to our library, meaning we can pass a function to the factory, and this function gets passed a generator, and then you can use the generator to generate random data inside the factory. Just a quick recap. I think I have it here. I use these spec these factory thingy that we are developing. I tend to use for tests. This, and you can see I'm already using the library, the package that we are creating. These allow me to set default values for objects and make my test more obvious by only oops, not the right one, by only overriding what matters inside the test, right? This test is about not displaying an indicator when there are no comments. So I make it very obvious that when I create a card and comments are empty, and this is the condition, then this should happen, right? And the rest, because there's a ton of data around it, right? There's the title, the commands, the owner. The owner itself is an other factory. But the other data doesn't matter, only the fact that the comments are empty. So this allows me to make it obvious. So this is the goal of the library, just to recap. So the goal of today is that last time we added this generator, and to do that we had to allow the ability to pass a function instead of an object as a blueprint, as a seed for the factory. And this got us into a big mess. And I didn't have time and wanted to learn a bit more about the problem, so I pushed on the original solution, which was using primitive types. But as you can see, this is not working. We have an if-else, we have a ton of stuff that isn't readable, so this is getting really crowded and impossible to read. So today, this is the goal, to fix that. And also, so I can generate data for the blueprint and the states. I also might need it for the overrides. But the idea is that I want to make things easier to go toward the new changes that might occur. And in the previous step, when I was learning and doing this, implementing this thing, we learned that all these things that we are trying to do onto this user seed thing. And we are trying to find out the type of this user thing so that we can either call it or just call it, then merge it, or simply merge it with another. And so the thing is, we shouldn't have to care. We should just tell the user seed to merge with another, right? So let's make it its own thing, is what I'm saying, basically. What we saw was a value object that was appearing, right? When we tried to define the type, we saw this user seed, right? And we thought about the fact that it might be a simple object or a dynamic user seed, which is a function here as the entry type, which I signified by adding user before. So there's some concept of a seed. And the goal of today is to do just that. Because this is, so there's a code smell that matches to that, and you can see Martin Fowler, which one is it? Primitive Obsession. He has a whole website. I'll try to provide the link in the description. So yeah, he literally wrote the book on code smells. And there's this idea of a code smell called primitive obsession, which is just that. When everything you use is a base object, and so you have to ask them questions instead of just telling them what to do, and this adds a lot of complexity, and this function that should be simple actually ends up tackling a lot of responsibilities. It has to check the type of an object. Is it a dynamic user seed or a simple user seed? Do I have then to execute it so that later I can merge it, or can I merge it directly? It also has to make a copy of the blueprint if it's an object to make sure that we don't affect the original object. So this is a lot for this function, and it really shouldn't. So let me make things a bit clearer. We are going to write the code that we wish we had, and the tests are here to tell us how we are doing and what we need to change to have everything pass. So where should we begin? So I want to tackle first at this point. Let me see. So, and yeah, that's what I was saying. This is crowded and complicated to read. So here, I use the states that are passed to me, and okay, the person has required some states to be applied. So I grab those states and map them to the register state of the factory. Okay, so that's fine for me. And then after that is where I have to check if this is a function or, okay, if it is a function, if the state contains a function, so if it's a dynamic seed, then I execute it. Otherwise, I just return the object, so that after that, I can merge it. Okay, so at the end of the day, what I just want is to do that seed point from, and then so cur seed, oops, it will be the current seed and not the current state anymore, and you will be the seed. Okay, and then there I want to merge the current seed inside the seed. So seed dot merge cur seed. So this is what I expect. And for now, I will need to do a new seed as a start. Set that from. There we go. And so this gives us that, and then after that, so we keep on merging. Okay, applied states. Okay, and so seed will be a container, so for now I will need to get it out to keep the rest of the code executing. Okay, so we have a ton of stuff. So what our tests telling us? Cannot find name seed. Sure, because it doesn't exist. I don't want a variable, I want a class. So let's create that. A class seed. Okay. So this should change the error. Property from does not exist on type seed. Sure. Static from, and you will take blueprint user seed. Yeah, let's call that a user seed, and you will be of type user seed. I think you should be generic. There we go. What? Oh, yes. So from, and you get past the user seed, and you should return to me something implementing the seed of the past type. Okay, so what are you telling me? I think it's telling me that I return nothing. Yeah. Declared type is neither void nor any must return a value, so return new seed. And let's give it a default. Yes. This is okay, let's go with this for now. It's okay. So what's the error? Expected one argument but got 0. See that from. Oh, there we go. So this one method does not exist. Yes. So let's create that. Oh, come on. Yeah, declare. So merge, and you take seed, you return this, and I think this should be immutable. Let's see for now. We'll learn. So return merge is that value and seed that value. And this means that I have to create a constructor that takes a value which is of type user seed. There we go. Let's make that private because I want people to have to pass to use that from function. So you take a value which is here user seed. There we go. And it's going to tell me that it doesn't know what value is about. go. That should fix it. Property value does not. Oh, yes, sure. I actually don't want to make it private. So let's fix that. And I can save some typing by just adding public before value. User seed is not assignable to type seed. Oh, yeah, sure. It's because I return a primitive type which it identifies as a user seed because I'm merging the values of the seed, and so that only means that I have to do seed that from. There we go. And this is getting better. So we are good on the TypeScript side. Ooh, I'm not sure how this one is passing. Generated data of states. I'm thinking this one should be failing because at no point am I trying to execute the function. So something should fail here. This is, and yeah, I'll refactor the test after. Spec mapping that name to be generated. So let's make this one fail. See generating. Huh. Oh, because I am handling the case of the states, and the other one only handles the case of the blueprint. So this is my fault. Okay, so it makes sense that the case for the states is failing, and that the test for the blueprint is succeeding. 10 minutes left. Ooh, come on. We have time. So, what is it? Yes, it's exactly that. Right now, what it's doing is that inside the merge here, Lodash, which is where the merge function comes from, is merging an object with a function, so it basically doesn't do anything with the function. So the function that we pass here just basically doesn't get merged. This is the other test, actually. The function that we pass here for the state just doesn't get merged, and so we keep on returning name, which was the blueprint, instead of generated, which should be the result on which is what is registered for name under the seed. So let me recap. The blueprint is the original object. The original object assigns name to name, but we apply a state on top of it, state 1, which we trigger here and registered here. State 1 uses a seed to generate its data. And if we look inside the seed, it assigns the result of generator that thing to name. And the result of generator that thing is what we set up here. It is generated. So we expect to get make thing that name, we expect it to be generated, but it returns to us name. It means that our function never gets used. So this is what we have to fix, and this is where it is going to get fun. Let me think. Should we handle the case with polymorphism, aka we create a seed and a dynamic seed, or for now, when we merge, we execute the function if it's a function? Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, so let's rename that into simple seed and create a dynamic seed. And I would like to extract, can I extract an abstract? No. Let's just go with an interface, and you will be called seed. And I want you to have let's go. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, let's go with an interface for now. I was looking for, maybe I should extract an abstract so that the from would belong to the, which is a factory function, would then belong to the top level abstraction, which would be the seed abstraction. But for now, let's go with an interface, extract an interface and use it where possible, and I want the merge function to be part of the interface. So simple seed implements seed, okay, that's fine. Seed merge, you take the seed and you return, no, you don't return the seed, a simple seed, you return a seed. There we go. And you might not return simple seed, you return a seed, which is what I was saying. So that's fine. I don't need the type anymore. Yes, I do. Okay, and you don't take a simple seed, you take a seed and you return a seed also. What's the problem for you? Oh, yes, sure, value should be part of the interface. And you are a user seed, type T. So, are we still on the same error? Yes, okay, good. So we now have, and you have to implement the seed interface. So we now will be shortly able to handle this if-else statement of are you a function or are you an object, and therefore should I execute you or just merge you directly with these two types. And the responsibility of choosing which type to use, meaning either the simple seed or the dynamic seed, will fall back on the factory that is now, for now, defined into simple seed. So dynamic seed is complaining because I don't have a merge interface, I guess, a merge and value properties, value property and merge method. So incorrectly implement seed. Yes, sure, I know. Implement value merge seed. Okay, good. Constructor, sure. You take, yeah, no, don't do that. Just do that, it's simpler. And because of that, I can remove that. Okay, and so now I should return. What should I return? So if I'm merging, huh? Oh, that's interesting. So if I don't, let me explain this. If I don't return a generated thing, object after merge, meaning I return a function still, that means that when I call value to unbox the value, I will have to execute the values of all the seeds contained. So which would lead me towards some kind of a composite seed. I don't really like that for now. This is getting very complicated, and plus I don't have the time anymore. So let's solve this for now. Quickly, I'm going to trash this, and when I merge, meaning I don't really need the interface anymore, but let me rename that to object. No, not an object seed, and you're not simple anymore either. So the interface gets out. You become seed. And everything should still work. Okay. And for now, because I don't have much time, I will do that. If so, I don't need to do this there. I should private value, and so when I get value, I will return. So if the type of this that value is not a function, I will return this that value. Otherwise, I will return execute. Oops. And I call this one user dynamic seed. I will execute this. And pass it the generator. And I expect that now my test should pass. And it does. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's a bit better. we removed a few lines of code, and the behavior is moving toward the seed. And turns out there's just one if else here, so maybe it's not that bad. We'll see. So I have to quit for this video. So there will be a second one where we will tackle the blueprint case, the override case, that maybe we'll also get a generator, and we will see how the seed evolves. Do we really need what I was going toward, aka a simple seed and a dynamic seed, and then some kind of a composite thing, which I really like the idea because it keeps the dynamic from start to end, right? I could map my states here into the seed type just once instead of doing it on every execution. But is it worth this complexity? I'm not quite sure. Maybe this first step is sufficient for now. We will see. But this code will, well, it would get away. I think I can just pass the blueprint here and get over with it. But okay, that's all right for now. Our tests are passing. I just want to refactor a tiny bit thing. Inside those two tests, I am setting up the same return value for the generator. I think for now I can move it here on the before edge. The test is a little less clearer, obvious because of that. But I think it's, yeah, no, it's fine for me. It actually removes a line that was confusing and makes things a bit more obvious, right? I have a seed, I pass it to the factory. When I call the factory, I expect to get the result of the seed. Yeah, that's fine for now. So thank you very much. As always, please comment. Did you like the video? Was it helpful? What was missing to be helpful? And subscribe. And thank you.